Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Greg from East Coast Dives, and then be live stringing one of my Lakotas for you. It's a Carolina Blue Lakota. I'm stringing it up with this neon yellow to Carolina Blue mesh. There's a tutorial for how to string my pockets. Here is a dumb one. It's a Volt Lakota on a Haywire High Flex. My favorite shafts and my favorite heads. This is how the pocket looks when it's all done. Really nice. This is the Carolina, the black mesh. Some Volt shooters, you've seen this head before. Looks really sweet. So this is how I like my pockets, nice and high and whippy. So today I'm going to string up another one of them for myself. So I'm just going to give you guys some commentary on it and jump right in here, since music has been messing up whether it's viewable on mobile or not, and people didn't like that very much. So people like to be able to watch it on the mobile. I didn't realize how many people watched it from their iPod or their iPhones until you can't watch it on your iPod and your iPhone, and then all of a sudden we're all up in an uproar. So yeah, restringing my head for fall ball. I got a club league to play in, so that's always really fun. You can see this mesh is used. It was in the head I used all summer, and I used it in a ton of games, scored a lot of goals with it, worked out really well for me. And East Coast mesh it's still got the perfect feel, still a little bit tacky, provide great hold, not soft at all. It's the perfect consistency. So I figured, why throw out a good piece of mesh? I realized I have an unlimited supply of it, but I'm not a waster, so I figured I'd reuse it. So I'm going to string the triangle top string here. I'm going to do all black stringing. You can see I left the shooters in just to save myself a little bit of time and materials. But let's see how I did it over here. So if you guys haven't seen, I've got a really nice triangle top string video up now. That was the one thing that you guys all requested, was that I make a triangle top string tutorial. And so I finally did it, and it's getting a lot of views. Seems to be helping out a lot of people, which I'm happy about. So a lot of something that tripped up a lot of people. I actually taught myself, and it took me forever. Had to look at all kinds of pictures and stuff like that. So it's nice that people now have a good resource to go and consult if they want to string a triangle top string. They don't have to stare at pictures for forever like I did. I'll link the tutorial for how to string a sidewall and the triangle top down in the description here, so you guys can go check it out. And that should be all you really need to string an exact replica of this pocket. It's just those two tutorials. A lot of people ask me about my bottom string. You can really use any bottom string you want, but I am going to put a tutorial out for that. And maybe I can show you real close in this video how I do it. If that would be helpful to some people. Apparently it's something that people want to know about. So we're going to run the triangle portion back across here. So leave me down in the comments, since I'm getting my stick ready for fall ball, what sticks you guys are getting ready for fall ball, how you're stringing them, what you're stringing with, what your shaft is. This is just a Gate 803 reactor. I don't know if it's any different from the 803 ice. I can't really tell you, but it was cheap on eBay. It was like 20 bucks, and if it's anything like the 803, then it's definitely something I'd like. So I picked one up. For $20, you can't really beat it. But my pick is the Haywire High Flexes. Those are the shafts that, for my money, I buy. I've got two now, so I wish I had them when I still played in college, but it's better now than never. You guys can see I've got my my needle nose pliers for all you stringers out there. If you don't have needle nose pliers, definitely a must. I don't know how you would have gotten anywhere in string sticks without some needle nose pliers, because they're lifesavers. They really save your fingers and really help you out. So I really like the look of the two-color mesh on a colored head. Some people might think it's too much, but I'd like to play with a flashy stick so people notice it and notice the mesh and things like that. So I don't have any problem playing with a really flashy stick. But I do really like the mesh, just the two color and a white or black head. I've got two color mesh on my black CEO, and the head being black or white really makes the mesh pop. Outline it all in one color string, but I've done a couple like this where the color of the mesh matches one of the colors in the head, and it really ends up turning out well. The triangle top string is a little more time consuming than a regular 9-diamond, but one of my really big pet peeves is when that middle diamond of mesh starts to sag down from the scoop, especially on a scoop like this where it's kind of rounded, like the Evo X's have a really rounded scoop. So if you don't string a triangle top string on them, you're going to notice that the mesh is going to sag a lot, and it's not really going to affect performance, but I just really hate the way it looks when the mesh sags down in the middle hole. I don't know why that is. One way to avoid that is to string a 10-diamond top string, like the one Kyle Harrison uses. And I've got no problem with 10-diamond top strings. I just like the 9-diamond triangle more. The 10-diamond will keep it nice and tight and won't really sag at all since you're splitting the diamonds. So that's one way if you don't want to string the full triangle to prevent the mesh from sagging. But then you got to remember that your pattern's going to be a little different if you try and replicate a string job that used a 9-diamond top string with a 10-diamond top string. So keep that in mind. Alright, finish this off and tie it off, then we'll be doing the sidewalls. Alright, so I've got the top string all done. Looks pretty sweet. The mesh will be a little easier to string since I already got the shooting strings in it and everything. But so that's all done. So now we're going to do the sidewalls. And like I said, there's a tutorial for this sidewall pattern already. So if you want, you can consult that. And it'll walk you through it step by step. But this creates a really nice channel with a mid-high pocket. The Lakota's pinch and flare really lends itself to the exact pocket placement that I use, because it comes in and begins the flare right where I place the pocket. So it allows you to have a nice channel while not sacrificing having that high pocket. So we're just going to, like I always tell you guys, pull those first couple mesh holes down really tightly, and that's what's going to be what forms your channel, not knots or anything fancy like that. People always used to say that the love knot creates channel or the love knot creates hold when that's just not true. It's how knots are used to create hold, not the actual knot. So you could easily replace any knot with an interlock really, and it would perform the same function and probably throw just about the same. I just personally like to use knots because they stay really tight, and you know they're never really going to loosen up on you. And yeah, they won't loosen up on you, so you know your stick's going to be the same always. And then I've got the triple up just to create the pocket. And have to weave through the shooting strings. So this is, I didn't mention it, but this is 15mm East Coast mesh. You should be able to use the same pattern for hard mesh. With 13mm, you'll need to use another diamond or two to get the depth, since the diamonds are a little smaller. Personally, I like the 13mm or the 15mm the most. So, let's see. Alright, so you can see that the channel is already forming on the one side with the nice high pocket. So you can usually tell how the stick's going to string up before you even finish off half of it, just by checking it out. One too many there. I think I did one too many there in the triple up. Yeah, that would have been way too deep there. So yeah, if you guys have more tutorial suggestions, I'd love to hear them. Barreled nylons are on the list, and barreled U's, but other than that, I'm almost fresh out of ideas. So I'd love to hear what you guys want. I'll do the bottom string and the barreled shooting strings, but other than that, I don't have too much more that I plan to cover. So you guys let me know what you want to see, and we'll see what I can do about getting it done. I can probably, I try and do a sizable pattern tutorial for each head that I string. I'll do one for my CEO. I haven't done one for quite everything. I've got a Blade Pro I can do. There are some heads I haven't covered. I covered the popular ones like the Super Power, the Surgeon, and some other ones, but some of those were 13mm East Coast mesh, so maybe I'll update those with some 15mm stringings. Other than that, though, not a ton more tutorials that I plan to cover. So if you guys want some, suggest them down in the comments. Maybe I could do some more dye tutorials. I've got a bunch of those I could do, since there's much less coverage on dye tutorials on YouTube than there is on stringing tutorials. So there's plenty of ground left to cover there. So if there's a dye tutorial you guys want, go ahead and let me know about that too, because I got time to do that. I did a solid color. I can do a fades one if you want. I did the Rasta marble. I have a regular marble ready to go, since some people wanted that, wanted to know just the ins and outs of just a regular marble dye job. I can do fades as well. Like I said, that's a big one people have trouble with, is fading correctly, and that's something I've gotten pretty good at. Just all takes practice. That's why it's usually best to hand your dye jobs off to the professionals like Style & Strings and Lacrosse Unlimited. Speaking of dyes, I can't really wait to see, I don't know if you guys saw those dyes that Style & Strings did for UVA last year, but I can't wait to see more of those because they were absolutely insane. I've never seen dyes like that with the inside out with the navy and orange like they did. I don't know if you guys have ever tried to dye navy and orange together, but it just doesn't work. And somehow they got it to work where they got the navy to go over the orange. They could do their logo and all this crazy stuff. Orange and navy inside outs. So can't wait to see what they do with that, or if they got any more college teams. So definitely go check out that article, the Style & Strings UVA dye, if you have not seen any of those. So we're finishing up the sidewall pattern here, and then I'll show you guys the bottom string if I can get a good look at it. I like to do most of my tutorials down in front of the black screen, but I'm sure this will do. Alright, so for the bottom string, I like to do, it's got a lot of connectors. It keeps the bottom really flat and tight, which helps out with the mid-high pocket. It's on the next 9 diamond row after the last 10 diamond row that we strung into the sidewall. So let's see here. I can get a good look at it. So I'm going to go in through the back of the left middle bottom string hole. Aim down a little bit, zoom in for you guys. In through the back of the second to the left bottom string hole, then back in through the inside of the outside one, so it comes out the back like that. For some reason I like my bottom strings to come over the back like that. Up under the most outer 9-diamond bottom string hole, then skip 3 holes, 1, 2, 3, and put it down through the back of that 4th hole. Then in and around the outside of that hole you put the knot through originally. Okay, then back into the outside of that second to last one, up through the bottom of the same hole that you already put the bottom string through, that same middle diamond, and then down through the back, and then down through the back of the most outer 9-diamond hole, and then in through the back of the outside there, and then just back in so you can tie it off, back out through that same one you already went through, just like that. So I'll show you what it looks like on the back so you can get a good look at it. You can see they share the same diamond in the middle here, start from the outer, and then share the same diamond in the middle. And tighten it up a little bit, and it forms a really nice performing bottom string in my opinion. It's definitely my favorite one. So you can see here the pocket's all zoom back out because I'm way zoomed in. You can see the pocket's all finished. I'll toss a black nylon in here just because I had to take that out because that was anchored to the sidewalls. Pocket looks really nice. The pocket transferred really well as I expected because it's the same head. The channel looks nice. Can adjust the bottom string a little bit so it's even. But overall, the Carolina and neon yellow and black just look really sweet. Really like this color combination. So it'll probably be my beater stick. So rain, since the mesh is already used, don't mind getting it a little beat up. So rain, mud, all that stuff will probably go to this stick, and I'll keep my Volt Lakota or one of my other many new Lakotas for some other games. They all perform just about the same and don't really need broken in anyway. So this video is running a little long, but thanks for watching, guys. If you stayed till the end, if this video you liked it, I'll have more live stringings. Maybe I'll just do a video of this head by itself, maybe a couple others to show it to you. But I'll have more live strings of my game sticks as I get them. So anyway, tell me what you're playing with down in the comments. Subscribe if you haven't, and thanks for watching.